Download Tarang online radio app from Google Play Store.
विज़न टीवी देख रहे हैं, इनका सबको दर्शकों को मैं यही बोलना चाहता हूँ कि आगे जो आने वाले हमारे कंपटीशन है मेरे लिए कि ये प्रेयर कीजिए, क्योंकि जो आगे वाले काफ़ी हार्ड कंपटीशन टफ है, तो सभी मेरे लिए कि ये प्रेयर कीजिए कि आगे वाले कंपटीशन है उसमें अच्छा करूँ मैं। विज़न टीवी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Today we go for a complete anthropometric weighing of athlete. We follow the first performer, level 1 performer of ISA. You know ISA? It is an international society which deals with our certifications of all the certification courses, and they have standardized the measurement procedure and established norms. So we follow the norms set by the international organization. Today we go 17 variable measurement which will help you to assess the body fat percentage, the body type components, and the height, weight ratio and all, which will give you some idea about the profile of an athlete. Right? So what way it is going to help you in selection, monitoring, reading out, all those things. Okay, this 17 profiles are measuring will get you idea about their body fat percentage, their body type. We can go for somatotype measurement components. We get it calculated from this, and you are also having a software support. You need to put the data into that, and you will get it calculated. You get a score of isomorphic, endomorphic, isomorphic, and ectomorphic. Same time you get the proportions, the body proportion, the height, weight proportions, the fat percentage, BMI, all those things. BMI, we usually use it for screening the general public. BMI is never take it as a big parameter for monitoring or measuring the elite athletes. Because there is always a relationship with the fat percentage and muscle. So it may be converted. And so we never use BMI for slightly higher. BMI can be used only for basic screening, general public, or it can be a health indicator where the doctor can say that reduce your weight and manipulate and get the correct BMI score. Right? Now, here we go for the first variable is body mass. We have been already taught with the procedure how to take measurements. It's always first we have to mark all the landmarks, and then you go measuring the skin fold, length measurement, breadth measurements. So these 17 variables of body weight, height, and the skin fold measurements, and some circumference and length measurements will get you idea. You get the score, and you can monitor. You will have a score to monitor or select or read out the results. Right? Usually we say body mass. Here scientifically it's a more scientific way when we measure. You look into the precision, the accuracy of the score. When you need to use this data for analysis for scientific purpose, you need to have very accurate score. Then only you can have. If somebody is measuring a boy 170 to today, and after say 6 weeks you measure and find that he is only 170. It can happen because of the measurement error or the equipment error. But we can't imagine somebody is growing small. In 6 weeks time you grow small. See the difference of 2 centimeters should not happen in the scientific data or any measurement. So we call it TEM, technical error of measurement. That is also taken care of. I said something about the software which we use. You have to go 2 time measure. And when you put the data, the system will say whether to go for a third measurement. If the difference for that particular variable, the difference is more, then you need to go for a third. Then you look into the mean or median, then get the protector. Right? This way, all these first 17, the level 1 17 variables, of course, certain measurements, certain area measurements, they have very little range permitted. For example, when you measure weight, it can be few grams given, 100 grams, 200 grams. But this much of allowance you won't get when you go for an epicondyle, a bone measurement. Right? So this bone measurement has to be exact because it doesn't allow much of error. But certain cases the range is good. So that the software takes into consideration and it gives you the actual data. Right? We now go one by one. The first variable is body mass, simply the body weight. For that you need to have a standard equipment. It's not a bathroom scale you use, it is for a general purpose. You need to have a scientific, electronic, a very good quality approved electronic weighing machine. We have a machine here. It's an important one, a BMI machine. If you put the subject in this machine, you can get both height and weight measured and BMI calculated. It displays the BMI. I'll demonstrate that after this. And so like that, one after other, we have to go with one trial, 2 trial, 3 trial, whatever. Then we always need to have a scorer with you. Certain measurements you need to have a minimum 3 people. One is to measure, one is to support, one is to score. Right? You alone cannot go for all this. Certain situation you need to give a support. For example, you can take height measurement. It is not simply body height. Now we say stretch stature. What is stretch stature? Stature is the posture, standing posture. What is stretch stature? You are not stretching to get more length, but it is to get the subject into its correct posture, the curvature. Somebody will have a bad habit of scoliotic stand or lordotic stand or chin down. So you need to keep the head down and the vertex should be positioned up. The height is measured from floor to the vertex level. So you need to go with correct procedure so you get the accurate. Then the Skinfold measurements. What are the Skinfold measurements? It measures subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous, under the skin. There is a layering of fat under your skin. Right? So it is actually, we approximately the 50% of the fat is deposited under the skin and it varies from side to side. And it's very clear, sometimes the abdominal fat is more. We find very less fat here, no much fat here, no much fat here. There are certain areas, there's a tendency to accumulate fat quickly. Right? That's the adipose tissue accumulation and it goes. Then the visceral fat. The total fat is visceral fat. If you can know the visceral fat, the total fat, you can easily find out the lean body mass. See, this is important, the chin level, that maxilla level, and this vertex position correctly without touching. Your height is 174.4. That is right. Now the weight is already recorded. What we need is to send the data to the system. So step up. Stand. And you get record weight, body mass is 68.75 and the BMI calculated is 22.60. What is the ideal? Did you know? Tell me, what is this score? What could be the indicator? What is the ceiling? He is well within the range. This an Asian now, European now, but the Asian now, you can say that what we follow is 25. Anybody with less than 25, it's okay. This score is okay. The moment we measure the variables, all the length, breadth, circumference and the skinfold, and the data can be fed into the computer, and once you feed two trial variables, the data, then it asks whether we should go for a third measurement. It will tell you, and this is just to avoid the technical error of the measurement. The error can happen because of the equipment, because of the measurement procedure error. So here the measurement procedure error is minimized. We call it a TEM, technical error of measurement. And the TEM is calculated, and then it is shown that if the TEM gives a wide range, then we have to go for the third measurement. And it ultimately calculate either mean or median of the score and the trials, and give you the raw data. So like that, you go on feeding the data for all the 17 variables, including body weight, the stature, then the skinfold measurements, then of course the bone width and the circumference measurements. And it gives a sheet with the raw data and also the calculated, the derived variables. And of course you get a printout of the page 2, which shows you all the values. Actually, this is developed by the International Society for Advancement in Anthropometry, where I am the level 2 certified measurer of the organization and also the member of the organization. We do conduct world conferences every 2 years, and also a pre-Olympic seminar. And most of the ISAK members are worldwide. They are level 1 to level 4 members. They gather together. We discuss on, we'll have seminars, workshops, then a lot of deliberations and discussions on this anthropometry related issues. Anthropometry is the branch where it is implemented in many areas. If you take any walks of life, you are one or other way related with the measurements and the values. So here in sports anthropometry, which we relate it with the movement pattern, movement and some little bit of physics, we consider it as a branch. We call it Anthropometry. So this Anthropometry, we have international standardization, procedure, the methods, and the way of measuring, standardization of the equipment, approval, all those things. And we get every 2 years an opportunity to meet the world leaders in this area, and a lot of publications we coordinate, and all those things. Here we get this measurement protocol will get you some idea about the body type of the athlete or any person, anybody who is measured. It can be for talent identification. It can be for monitoring the training performance or the training effects, and sometimes the weed out process, and also in many other areas of allied subjects like sports nutrition. For the nutritionists, this anthropometry is very, very important, because we also conduct courses for the sports nutritionists or general nutritionists. Then it is many of the medical colleges take help of this association and do certification courses for the medical students. And same way the nurses. When the patient go to a doctor, they are immediately taken with the body weight and height and a BMI seen, and then some health which is related with lifestyle. Then immediately the doctor give an advice either to go reduce or increase your weight, the nutrition status. Then again, the World Health Organization is very much concerned about the health of the children all over the world. The child is born immediately. From there, they start collecting data from different continents and establish norm for each continent or country. So like that, the health workers also need to be taught with all these correct measurement procedures and the equipment familiarization. So all these things are made possible with the linking of this international organization. So there is one method and procedure for assessment. So here also we have conducted several times the level 1 and level 2 courses of this ISAK, and we teach the masters students with the measurement procedure, so that when they go, even sometimes we conduct refresher courses for the coaches, so that they know the importance of all these measurements. They can also keep in their diary the developmental or the growth pattern or the weight chart of the athlete. Especially the athletes, when they take a break, they go on a vacation, they have a different eating pattern at home. When they come back, we find that they have gained weight. Immediately the athlete is sent to the lab to measure his body fat. So then the coach get an idea, this fellow has gained the fat, not the muscle mass, because of the food habit change or the routine change or a break. Or even an athlete, when he is injured, sometimes he is not in rigorous training, or when you go overseas for competition or continuous competition. So it's all body variable keep changing. So certain variables can be with that regular interval and frequently happening. And certain things you need not have a periodic checkout, an initiating time or some after say 6 months at the time of weeding out. We have a weed out process. If somebody is not coming up to the level, they can be redirected to another sports, either you can be scrapped from the main program. So the weeding out process also, sometimes we can go specific things measure. See, boxing is a really different sport, and I don't want to comment on it. You start now killing your opponent and gaining, means winning. That is the approach of that sport. But still, see, there is an aggressiveness comes at the very, very aggressive, right from the beginning till the end. When you train them, the body, they have got weight categories, but the way they have make the movements, the defensive movements, the angle of the punch, and the strength have to be developed. And you see that anthropometry can tell you when you change the angle of a movement, the recruitment of the muscle slightly varies. So when they go on punching in a particular angle to the opponent, if they change a slight change, you are resting the other group, a slight resting to the mainly involved, the recruited, or sometimes you can even train them to develop more strength on that angle punch. So the punching or any hitting or any movement you make in sports, you can have the kinematic analysis and the entire range, the force applied, and what the maximum impact at what angle can be assessed. So the trainer can insist at what range and what angle and how much of strength can be applied, and the strength endurance developed to that sporting person. That is very, very, though you asked in jovial way, but there is something behind that. Even the size of body weight, but the composition, the body composition of the athletes may differ. That may ultimately make a win over the opponent.
विज़न टीवी देख रहे हैं, इनका सबको दर्शकों को मैं यही बोलना चाहता हूँ कि आगे जो आने वाले हमारे कंपटीशन है मेरे लिए कि ये प्रेयर कीजिए, क्योंकि जो आगे वाले काफ़ी हार्ड कंपटीशन टफ है, तो सभी मेरे लिए कि ये प्रेयर कीजिए कि आगे वाले कंपटीशन है उसमें अच्छा करूँ मैं। विज़न टीवी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Download Tarang online radio app from Google Play Store.
ਵਿਜ਼ਨ ਟੀਵੀ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਲੋਕ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਦਿਲੋਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ। ਮੇਰੇ ਲਈ ਕਰੋ ਦੁਆ ਕਰੋ ਕਿ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਇਹ 'ਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਕਰੀਏ, ਵਧੀਆ ਕਰੀਏ। ਅੱਗੇ ਵਰਲਡ ਚੈਂਪੀਅਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਆ, ਮੈਂ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਬੈਸਟ ਆਫ 6 ਵਿੱਚ ਆਊਂਗਾ। तो सभी मेरे लिए करना दुआ करना। थैंक यू विज़न टीवी।